Hey there, I'm out here. Welcome back to the river. The St. Lucie River to be exact. Look how calm it is. This is one of my favorite places to come. I'm at Hosford Park in Stewart and figured I'd bring you with me. Vlog style. You know, this park is very special to me. I've been out here so many times, made a lot of content here, but back in October, I was making my first video where I was speaking directly into the camera. It was a kayak safety and tips video. And I envisioned this scene, which ended up happening. But before it happened, I envisioned this scene where I have the phone in my hand. I act like a current's coming in the kayak, it gets a little wobbly. And the phone dips out of my hands and goes into the water, and then I just pick it up and I do a little thumbs up. That's what I was envisioning, right? So I come out here to shoot this content. In my mind, it's gonna flow so smoothly. And you know, me being the genius that I am, I assumed all cases that hold phones float. So I'm under this bridge, which is a little further ahead actually where I'm going right now. And I'm going through the motions, kayak shaking. I throw the phone out of the water and the phone sinks. And my first inclination is, oh my God, my phone. So I jump after it. I jump out of the kayak and I go into the water as I'm reporting. Now, some information you might need to know. This is the St. Lucie River, specifically Hosford Park. There's a lot of gator sighting. I've seen a lot of gators here. But when I jumped to my phone, I wasn't thinking that. But as soon as I got into the water and couldn't find my phone because the water is so murky and it's not clear and it's very deep, you can't really touch the bottom, I panicked. And I said, let me get back into the kayak as quickly as I can. Because I was panicking, I tipped the kayak a bit, was able to get on top of it, but in the process of getting into the kayak, much water came into the kayak. And by the time I sat down, the kayak slowly sunk. Now, should not have panicked. The key here is to stay calm, which I wasn't at the moment, to be honest with you. And I started to swim as fast as I can. And I went, with my left hand first, and for some stroke of luck, my hand grabbed out of my camera, snatched it out, swimming to the side. I get to the shore. I have nothing on me because my bag is in the kayak and the kayak tipped over and everything is floating in the river. Oh, by the way, my keys were in my book bag. So at that moment in time, I was stranded right there. I remember, giving thanks, thanking God that I had all my limbs, no encounter with a gator. But I started to think to myself, how am I going to get out of here? And obviously my heart rate's like 120 beats per minute at this moment. So what I do is, I'm taking deep breaths. I have the camera in my hand and I see my kayak slowly drifting. And behind my kayak, I see my book bag. And I think to myself, that's the most important thing right there, because my keys are in there, and if I could get my keys, at least I could get back home. And it's slowly drifting, and I think to myself, it's really now or never. It's either you get in the water right now and get your, swim to the other side and grab your bag, or you find some way to get home and get your spare keys from home. By the way, I had no phone because my phone was in the river. So at that moment, I decide, call me crazy, I'm gonna get back in the water and I'm gonna be as calm as possible and swim toward my bag. So I do that. I slowly get back into the water, taking gentle strokes, having the vest on, so I'm like, use the vest, relax, there's no need to panic. And then I get to the kayak. The kayak is tipped over and it's full of water, but I grab it with my right hand and I start paddling with my left hand. I'm like, all right, just go slow, you got this, the bag is right in front of me. I'm paddling, going, and then I get really tired. And I'm like, if I keep going at this rate, I'm gonna miss the bag. So I make a decision to let go of the kayak. And then at this moment, I see the paddle floating, which I didn't see when I was on the side. So I grab the paddle with my left hand and I start pushing the bag to the other side of the shore, to the other side of the bridge. And thankfully I was able to do that. Got out of the water, had my book bag. I was like, okay, count your blessings. I got my keys. I have all my limbs. I lost my kayak, but that's okay, And I have the camera. I left it on the other side of the bridge. So I'm walking to the other side of the bridge with my bag and the camera. And I think to myself, I have another kayak in the back of my truck, and I have a tow, like a rope. Why don't I just get back in the water and see if I could find this kayak? It was this specific kayak. It's yellow baby. So I do that. I decided, hey, I'm gonna at least try. Why not? So I have foldable kayaks. So I unfold another kayak, go back in the water, and with some stroke of luck, this kayak was nestled between some trees. Right? Insane. It was insane. So I go up to it, I tip it over. It takes me a while, but I empty it out, all the water out of it, get a rope, tie to the front of it and to the back of this kayak, or not this kayak, that kayak, and I just tow it back, count my blessings, because I went from losing my phone, my bag, my keys, my kayak, potentially the camera, to having everything but my phone. And yeah, it was a new iPhone, but it's okay. You know, you gotta appreciate experiences like that, because it makes you appreciate the smaller things. Things could have gone wrong in so many ways, but I have all my limbs, and I was able to get my kayak, my bag, my keys, and I'm back on the river. And truthfully, since that experience, I feel like I have more confidence in myself. I guess they say, you know, it's the hardships that really shape you, and I truly believe that. Anyways, this is your weekly reminder to keep moving forward. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that story. I hope you enjoyed this vlog style. I hope you enjoy the bird calls. Until next time, peace.